Hey guys, how you doing? I'm doing okay. Well, today is New Year's Eve day, and this is my last video for 2019. And I want to make a rather brief video here, and it is a political blog here. And I just want to make a few points. Number one, I just heard on the news yesterday or this morning of a couple of liberal commentators still misquoting President Trump of a statement he made after the Charlottesville disaster, and also on a tweet that he put out on Twitter. And I've said many times that Democrats don't know how to listen. Their ears must be clogged up, or maybe they need a hearing aid or something, but they just don't know how to listen. And based on they're not accurately reading the tweet, they don't know how to read either. Okay, so they need to learn how to read and learn how to listen. Okay, now regarding Charlottesville, they both have to do with their claim that President Trump is the R word. Okay, and nothing could be further from the truth. Not with jobs that he created for the community of people of color and other minorities. So I had uploaded the movie, or parts of the movie, about the Ku Klux Klan, and I said, is there any evidence at all that the behavior and actions and attitudes of President Trump or any of the conservatives or Republicans embrace that philosophy and way of thinking and exhibit the kind of behavior of those terrible people? Now, the misquote after Charlottesville, and this is the part where I say they don't know how to listen, that President Trump said there were very fine people on both sides and there were very bad people on both sides. And yet, the Democrats only heard one half of that statement. You know, anybody with a 5th grade education can tell you that if you change the words in a sentence, you change the meaning. Okay? So you eliminate half of that statement and you're left with a totally different statement. Okay? With a totally different meaning. So, yes, it's true, nobody can hear the period or the comma, or maybe the absence of a comma, you know, when he said there were very fine people on both sides, and there were very bad people on both sides. Okay? Somehow they stopped listening before the word and. Okay? And about President Trump's tweet. Okay, about the squad. Now, they quoted as Trump tweeting that they should go back to their own countries. Now, nowhere on that tweet did President Trump use the word countries or even country. The word country does not exist on that tweet. President Trump addressed the squad as saying, why don't you go back to the crime-ridden places where you came from and then come back and tell us how you fixed the problem. So President Trump wasn't telling them to leave and go back to their country. That's absurd. That's not what he tweeted. And you read the tweet yourself to see that's not what he said. He said, go back to your crime-ridden places where you came from. So of the squad, we're talking about New York, Detroit, Minneapolis, and Cincinnati. If you look up the cities where the squad came from, you will see that's the places where they came from. New York, Cincinnati, Minneapolis, and Detroit. Go, and I checked online about the crime in those cities. And one of those cities is named as one of the most crime-ridden and the most unsafe cities to live in. So we see two misquotes, one of a statement and one of a tweet. Both were misquoted. And that's where they came up with this, the president is R. Okay. Now, one last statement I will make for 2019 is this. Pelosi of the Democrat-controlled House is refusing to give the articles of impeachment to the Republican-controlled Senate until she gets information about the way the Senate trial is going to be run. Gee, that sounds familiar. Someone refusing to give something to someone else until they receive information about the opposing party. Where have I heard that before? It'll come to me eventually. But, you know what? I think I know. Isn't that what the Democrats call the quid pro quo that they accused Trump of doing? Withholding aid to the people of, I forget the country, but you know what I'm talking about. Until he gets the Ukraine, until he gets information about dirt on Biden, which is ridiculous. He was after corruption. But the point I'm making is this. If it's okay, and now Pelosi is the Speaker of the House and third in line for the president. Think about that. Okay, so it's impeachable for the president to, quote unquote, seek information about something about the opposing party. But it is not impeachable, and it is okay for the third in line to the White House to do the exact same thing. Withhold something from the opposing party, or refuse to give something unless they receive information about something going on the other side. So it's impeachable for the president, but it is not impeachable for the third in line to the president to do the same thing. So I leave you with that. I leave you with that piece of reality here. Okay, I leave you with that. And so Pelosi is attempting a quid pro quo by refusing to give the articles of impeachment to the House that's controlled by the opposite party until she receives information about the opposite party. Hey folks, that's a quid pro quo. That's what they were accusing Trump of doing, as being impeachable. But it's not impeachable for the one who's third in line for the presidency to do it. That's perfectly okay. Not impeachable at all. So, as we leave 2019 and move on to not only a new year, but also a new decade, Okay, the decade started lousy, and it's gone in a very good direction. Let's hope and let's pray that the new year and new decade continues along its current path to rewards and prosperity for everybody involved. And let's stop with the ridiculous circuses and games, political games. We are much better than that. And stop pitting American against American. It really doesn't help matters at all. So anyway, those are the three things I'll leave you with. Okay, Happy New Year, guys. And I'll see you next year. Take care, guys. Talk to you later. Bye.